consultant, or you can do that yourself. Easiest thing I would say, if you have your invitation already completed and they're just ready to send out, you can put a label on the back. And if you want to bring up that picture, it's a circle picture.
You got it. All right, so circle picture, this one right here, yeah?
Yes. So this is an easy fix. You can just tell them, you know, that you're hoping to see them on the specific date that you've selected, but just in case you've reserved an alternative date, or you can say things like, you know, please stay tuned to our website, or please include your with your RSVP, please include your email address for any further updates.
So
that's
just
the easiest fix.
So just FYI, if you're just joining in, we had a little bit of a technical glitch at the very beginning. So I'm going to actually reintroduce everybody because we are now back live on Facebook. Thank you very much. So Behind the Veil 9, I know it feels like a repeat. Reverse. So I'm Keith Willard. I'm the owner of Keith Willard Events and an event planner. And this is Marci Guttenberg, the owner of An Affair to Remember by Marci, an invitation specialist. So we're thrilled to have you. Then we have Tyler Black with Cachet Events, a tremendous, incredible florist and event producer. And then we have Nichole with CLE Events or Clay Events. She is a rental specialist, especially with vintage furniture, but she is pivoting her business with some really interesting ideas, which we're going to talk about. And then, of course, Brooke, Logan, Stoner. I feel like we missed your best material yet because we had a little bit of a glitch. So sorry. So Marci was just talking about how to do save the dates and change of dates for weddings. So we're going to go back to that slide that you were just showing. And so here we have, let me go back to the circle. Oh, so how about, what was that last one, this one, as my computer takes its time.
Buffy, hey, listen. So I have my phone streaming live, and like my hair looked good that day. But yeah, like 4 episodes is what I'm seeing right now on live. So I don't know if anybody else does this, but I mean, I look good. I look fabulous. Can we just play that?
My goodness.
So is that happening? Because that's the team.
Yes, so we're on. So Marci, have the in regards to COVID-19. So did you come up with this? Where's this from?
This is just some wording that was put together just to kind of let people know that they're monitored. If you've already ordered your invitations, or you are about to send them out, but you haven't sealed the envelopes yet,
right?
You could add on a card with some extra wording that just says, you know, in regards to COVID, you know, we're going to pay attention to the upcoming weeks, and then talking about how you know we're paying attention to the CDC and the government, etc. This could be reworded very easily to fit the scenario of what's going on, whether it's, you know, staying closely monitoring, or you know, maybe there's an event date change, you haven't sealed envelopes yet. You can say that you know, due to the coronavirus or COVID-19, we're changing the. Please note that the RSVP, the invitations had already been printed. Please note the new date will be X, Y, and Z, and the new RSVP date would be X, Y, and Z.
So you know, I would pair this with a mask. To be honest, I would pair it with a mask, just because a little fun. Have a little jab at this, right? I mean,
you can easily do that, yes.
Yeah. So because
and just slip it right in.
Right, just slip it in. Oh, that was weird. I don't know that.
Sorry, no pun intended.
After the wedding, not before the wedding. After the wedding, slip it right in after the wedding. But no, but seriously, I mean, you know, it does. Right now, it sucks at this moment. So why not have a little fun? And yeah, you want to do something. Lighten it up, right? Lighten it up. So exactly. One of the things that I actually, so we'll get back to some of the invitation stuff, but I really want to get to like the thing that Nichole sent me. So Nichole, I'm going to pull up the file that you sent me, because it was just so cool what you were coming up with and what you said called the new normal. And we kind of I kind of talked about this a little bit at our intro, saying, you know, you were pivoting your business to do something interesting like this. And so let me start this. I hear music. What's going on in the
I know
background?
somebody's playing
I
drums.
have a Haitian church next door, and they're doing a food drive, and I guess the kids are playing on the drums.
Oh, I love it. No, leave it. We need a little background music. So, so you know, the idea now is that we're moving more towards the idea of small and intimate weddings. And even if you decide to have your larger celebration later, you know, and you want to keep your wedding date, I think this also works. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the whole idea, and this goes beyond weddings, this goes to pretty much any of the events that we're seeing right now. We're seeing obviously a lot of people are graduating from school. We're seeing people getting married. We're seeing different life events. And some of the rules that we can follow obviously is keeping it small, you know, maybe less than 20 people, outdoors if possible, or a portion indoors, outdoors. Maybe having a flow, inviting guests to come over the course of a certain amount of time, but not inviting all the guests to come at the same time. So maybe you're inviting guests to come from 12 to 2, another group of guests to come to 2 to 4, just to break it up a bit.
Right.
And then, you know, like Keith is saying, you know, let's get fun, let's get creative with it. These can smaller. Sometimes you can do more fun things that you can't do at a large event. And, you know, and I would say most places probably have a minimum. You're looking at around at least a $750 budget, which it really isn't a lot, but I mean, it could certainly go up from there, but that's kind of what you're looking for some basics to do this.
Yeah, so you were talking, you and I offline were talking about vignettes, and like, you know, we're talking about all these drive-bys, right? So everything is about a drive-by graduation, drive-by wedding. And so I love the idea of creating little vignettes in your backyard that have a theme.
Right. So I mean, this is what we do all the time, but we just do it on a much larger scale. We do huge Alice in Wonderland backdrops, but we were thinking, you know, there's no reason that we should stop celebrating life events or stop celebrating special occasion. What has to change is how we're doing them and how can we do it to be more fun. And this actually came about because we were in the process of cleaning out our warehouse and cataloging things and get rid of stuff. And moving things around. And we ended up with all of these props and things in our backyard for a little while. And I thought, and the backyard looked great. I was like, oh my God, this looks so fun, because I had circus horses out there and all of these bench seating. And I was like, man, if I just threw up some string lights, this would look like instant party.
And you didn't have to weed or garden.
I know. I was like, you know, this would be so much fun. And even though, I mean, obviously nobody's going to big parties right now. If I wanted to invite 4 or 5 couples over to celebrate, you know, our daughter just graduated from elementary school, you know, and there are people who were close to us and we already have contact with, that would be okay. So there's no reason why we still can't celebrate life's moments in some fun and interesting way. So these were some more Alice in Wonderland ideas, simple things that could be set up in your backyard or in like combination indoor outdoor. One thing is we're lucky about in Florida is most of us have really nice outdoor spaces that we could use. And you could also even add an entertainer to it if you wanted to, someone who could kind of keep the distance, but still add ambience, maybe greet your guests as they're coming in or just evoke a bit of the character.
Now, what I love about this is I'm like looking at these big clocks in the bushes and stuff in the background and these picture frames. It's such a simple idea, but so cool and so cute. I mean, I know that, you know, I could definitely add on to this with entertainment and other pieces. And I'm, you know, and one of the things I was looking at this and I was thinking, Tyler, you have all those big flowers that we used at an event that would look so cool in the background.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that thing that we did with the piano at that last show. Right. And then it doesn't just have to be Alice in Wonderland. It can have this pirate theme.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was just pulling from some of our more popular themes that we've done over time, but it can be pretty simplistic. Like this is very simplistic, and then this one gets a little bit more extravagant on the right, but where someone set up like a backyard bar, but with rum barrels and, you know, just fun. You know, there's no reason why we can't have fun and still be social distance and still keep people safe and still celebrate life's adventures, because we are definitely on an adventure right now. So you could have a small intimate wedding, backyard wedding, and then you know, tell everybody to come dressed as pirates if you want. Why not? Have fun with it. Who knows?
Right. And life is a circus, so why not have a circus theme?
I actually love this this one with the parasols. I'm going to do this in my backyard because I have tons of parasols and I have string light. I just think this is so cute.
I love that.
I know, right?
Love that.
Yeah, I'm going to totally do this. And why not? It's weatherproof. Again, it works for everybody. And it would be really, really fun just to kind of create something different.
Well, the problem is if I put this up, then, you know, it'd be like my Christmas lights. They don't come down until July. It would be horrible because everybody would be like, oh, those sad umbrellas. They're all pulled apart and the light bulbs are missing. Well, that's not true. I'm OCD. I take it down January 5th. But anyway, but I love this idea. And then I love this little at-home elegance. I remember that you did this for, I think, a Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so this was actually just like a photo op that we put together for a client for their Thanksgiving dinner because they had, you know, family and they wanted to get some nice pictures and they wanted a little photo op. So even if you're doing a backyard ceremony and you want people to create something, you know, special, so you can have some nice pictures because you're not doing the big celebration. But, you know, it's small can be very beautiful too. Look at, these are all very, very simple things. Look at, I love this teepee with the pallets table for the sit down.
I love that.
I
love that. And actually, you know what? I really love this one over here, this little archway with, you know, the light bulbs. I mean, I just think that's so simple. It feels both interesting, authentic, a little, you know, off the cuff, a little nostalgic. It brings up a lot of different feelings that it's just nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, so just small can be beautiful too. It may not be the big blowout that you want, and you may be having the big blowout later, but we could still have a lot of fun with it and create a unique event, whether it be for a baby shower, whether it be for an engagement party, whether it be for just a small dinner party for, you know, your immediate family to celebrate something special, a graduation. You know, we're not really going out. We're staying home, you know, and you get the food delivered. You know, you put it in the great table and it can be really fun.
So I'm just going to end with your Stop in Alice in Wonderland picture again, because I just love these. There's something about these timepieces that are in the backdrop and the bushes and stuff. This feels very backyard, very now, especially if you have a child that is graduating from, you know, kindergarten or middle school, or, you know, I mean, these are all super cute, easy to do in your backyard. All you have to do is call Nichole, boom, she's there with you, right? And then she can make this all happen for you. But I think these are really great ideas for anybody. I mean, you could go to a vintage store and pick some of this stuff up and do it yourself.
Probably all of us have 5 or 6 mismatched chairs in our house right now. You don't have to have matching. You don't have to have matching china. You know, you could pull your dining room table, put it on the lawn, put a linen on it, put mix and match chairs, some flowers, you know, instant.
Yeah. Amazing. Love, 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 love. Now, so Tyler, I mean, when you look at something like that, I mean, that is definitely kind of the wave in I think of the future. We're looking at more intimate kind of pieces and parts, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, so, you know, just go ahead.
Well, I was going to bring up that prior to, you know, preparing for this, I had watched a video of a wedding that happened right at the beginning of the COVID crisis. And the maid of honor had gotten to one city in the country, but she couldn't travel any farther. And so she stayed with a family that was related to the wedding. But what they did is all the different family members, the bridesmaids and the flower girls, each family, they lined up the chairs in their living rooms to create an aisle. And they all had their wedding experience. So they all walked down the aisle in their wedding dresses. The wedding was held virtually. And then they videoed like the little girls walking down the aisle. The maid of honor was in another city. She was quarantined basically, and she walked down an aisle. So everyone took their dining room furniture and created aisles and did what they could to do flower wise. It's just thinking outside of the box, being creative. And then they did their speeches and everything just via Zoom or whatever it might have been. It was really sweet. I didn't know really how to represent it with stuff, but yeah, with pictures, but it was beautiful.
So I'm gonna ask for all of y'all's input, because I went back through my old events and I found pictures of previous events that I had done. And like this one I did at Hyatt, I mean, oh my God, I think this is totally 1999. No, it's probably not that far back, but it's like probably 2007, 2008. And we're by the pool. And so it's all outdoors by the pool, which I thought was really great because it's outdoors. You have lots of social distancing. It is very easy to change this into, you know, having larger footage in between. But, you know, outdoors is supposedly better for what we're supposed to be doing at this time. You know, so it was things like this. It was things like, you know, the cabanas, using these cabanas. So like this is at the Ritz-Carlton in Bell Harbor. So there's 12 different cabanas. Each table, each cabana was set up with a different thing. So, and here we did it for cocktail reception. It was a cocktail reception, so not a formal dinner. I think I actually put a formal dinner in here. Let me see, probably not, but let's not drag on the show. But you know, the idea is to use cabanas in a unique way. This was actually Bonnie Cafe a la Carte had her 25th anniversary in the hangar of at an airport, which I thought was incredibly cool. But even here, we created separate vignettes that were like somewhat separated, so there was plenty of space to walk around. Because I think that's our new normal, is finding ways to create space in between people.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think? Oh, so this was a restaurant. So when we talk about smaller is better, this was at Jet Cafe in Fort Lauderdale. And so, you know, this party was for like 25 people. We rented out the restaurant, and I brought in high top. You like this? So, and I brought in high tops, like high end tables, so that everybody was literally on what do you call them? Benches?
On elevators.
Stools, elevated. But again, it was cool. It was an interesting location. You're right on a runway, so you're watching the planes take off and land. You could actually walk outside these doors to watch this. So smaller doesn't mean it has to be sad. I don't know. I'm searching for the words.
Or short on style.
Right. It doesn't have to be short on style. You could do more with a smaller wedding and really, really create unique experiences. Because at the end of the day, that's what we really want to do, is create a unique experience for our guests to share in the joy and the love of our wedding. Mm-hmm. Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to send you all caffeine pills.
We're so
involved. Say no or we'll get fired, Keith.
Oh my goodness. I'm like, yes? No? Right? I mean, I love the idea.
How very dare you?
I know, how very dare me. But you know, the idea of creating really cool, unique, I mean, we have to think of new ways to do stuff. We just have to.
Yes.
It's no longer okay to cling on to the old ideas. We got to think of new stuff. And it doesn't mean it's going to be worse. If anything, it means it's going to be cooler. It's going to be better. By the way, say hi to your daughter who just walked behind you, Nichole.
That was my husband.
Oh, your husband. Oh, by the way, your husband was in a pirate outfit.
I was going to gag. I'm like, she should have had him put in a pirate outfit at him. I mean, just pace back and forth.
We totally saw that.
I was gagged.
I know 3 shows ago where he was sneaking behind you in a pirate outfit. We totally saw that.
Well, his philosophy is if you can't be yourself, be a pirate. So.
Well, I feel like he's kind of both.
Yeah. yes.
So Tyler, what is one of the I mean, you probably thought about this, but what is one of the more interesting events that were on the smaller side that had that really unique kind of experimental vibe? Like, you know, you felt like the people that came had an incredible experience, but because it was on the small side.
Well, I did. I've done a beach wedding in that sense where it was very intimate. It was basically 8 people, but it had that magnificent feel. We did a beautiful setting on the beach. As the sun set, we did hearts in the sand with the seashells and the lava rocks and petals and all that good stuff. It was very simple. It was kind of like what do you call it when you what do you call it when when you all the musical people come in and dance? A flash mob.
Oh,
like
flash mob.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, sounds like, draw it.
Yeah.
Dictionary.
I'm having an off day. The drums behind me are driving me nuts. I'm like, ah. So, you know, we all had something. Because we just threw this together. You're supposed to have permits and all that kind of stuff to have a wedding.
Forgiveness. Ask for
Wow.
forgiveness, not permission. Just saying.
Remind me of a little
so
story later.
Yeah.
Well, the wedding was originally supposed to be on a rooftop, and then we just kept looking down at how beautiful the beach was, and we just kind of, everyone grabbed something and we ran down there and set it up, got married, and then we went back up to the top of the building to have a small reception. And it was
that.
It was so fun. It was just like we were all just like crazy people running down screaming and sandals, and it was really fun. It was one of the funnest little things. It was an employee of mine that didn't really have much money, and we just decided that we were going to throw them a wedding. So
I love the idea that you got your guest involved in building an event. You know,
exactly.
Here, you grab this torch, you grab this chair, you grab this table. Let's run down there. Let's throw it together. Okay, party out. You know,
Yep.
before the cops come, so to speak.
And we did the same type of deal during the first Beach Pride event in Fort Lauderdale. For whatever reason, the city didn't want to give this couple permission to get married, and the Pride event didn't want to give them permission to get married. But they wanted to get married right there for the Pride. So we did very much the same thing. I kind of went on. We just kind of did a flash mob wedding. Ran down there, set it up right with the whole backdrop, and all the people from Pride were all gathered around the fence and cheering them on, and they got married. It was really cute. So we broke a little ruler there, but it was fun. It made a little. It got some attention, so it was a lot of fun.
It took me a little bit to get to this picture. So I found that picture of the cabanas set up with the dinner tables. You know, so as you can see, I think here we have like 6 tables or 4 tables set up, but there were 12 cabanas in total. So if you can imagine that there's 8 people around each cabana, that's almost 100 people. That's not a small wedding if you were looking at it this way, but you still have your social distancing. You're still giving people lots of space. And I just love this idea. And plus the chairs are cool. I mean, I love these chairs. And I'm not usually into outdoor furniture, but I love this concept. And we kept it super simple because we were right on the beach looking over the ocean. And so, and then we had some fire drummers going on the left-hand side, which you don't see. But again, this was before social distancing. So this totally makes sense, even after social distancing.
Love her little witch you are.
I know. What a lovely little witch I am.
Clever.
Oh, so clever. So clever. So I'm going to go back to the invitations and bring Marci back up. So Marci, I'm actually pulling up your invite. So I'm going to go through them. Oh, I love your change of plan thing here. So let me share my screen. Because, you know, now that we're in this world, you have to let people know that you're changing your date. So yes. I love the fact that you bring this up. So what are we looking at here?
So this actually is a new invitation. It's sent after the save the date. And basically it's talking about the fact that you've postponed the date and where the new location or new date would be.
Love it.
Yes.
We love it. And so
a little lighthearted, as you can see, depending on where your event is going to be, you can kind of play around with that.
And I love this take 2.
Yeah.
Little whimsy. He's very cute.
I love that. Take 2. Oh my goodness. Right. And it'll be.
You have to kind of just go with it. So, right. Make it light. Your guests are definitely going to understand the situation. Just go with it.
And then, we already talked about this.
We already talked about this one. I don't know if we talked about it with everybody that's on Facebook, but this again is just, if you have your invitations already sealed, you can put this right on the back flap where the sale area is.
Oh, so this is a sticker. Oh, I got it.
It's a sticker, yes.
So this is in case you already have the invitations printed.
Exactly.
You don't want to go through the cost of reprinting the invites, but you still want to mail them out.
Yes, and you can kind of play around with the wording. You can say that the date's been rescheduled, here's the new date, or you can say, we hope to see you on the date that you're choosing, but if not, here's the alternative date. Or you can say something like, include your RSVP, in your RSVP, include your email so that we can provide you with any updates, or you can put your wedding website and add your information right on there.
Love it.
A lot of different things that you can do to make it attainable for people to stay informed for your wedding, for the date, for the new date.
Oh, perfect. Okay, and then this is pretty typical, and then we go what?
This is
So-
another take two, another version of it. This is actually, you can include that with your invitation, or, if you haven't sealed them, you can add this in, or you can send this as a new card.
So you would actually put this in with your already printed invites. You would just put a
Yes.
separate card that says, "Okay, take two."
Take
So that
two,
way
here's
people,
the new date.
so people still get the formal invite. I think it's important to say during all of this is that people understand that we're in unprecedented times, and so little things like this is about tickling the heart. It's not going to be seen as how gauche. It's going to be seen.
Exactly.
It's going to be seen how cool is that.
Right. I mean, people get, there's a thing that people have a notion that etiquette either has to be followed or it doesn't have to be followed. And the reality of it is right now, like you said, we're in unprecedented times. And this is an opportunity that you can take and run with it in any direction that you feel is comfortable for you. Etiquette is merely a suggested tone of how you handle certain things in life. There is
Right.
no law. There is no rule. It's just etiquette rules. So here's a beautiful invitation. This was for a wedding that was not too long ago.
Yeah, I remember this.
We
This
did.
is
I remember when we did together. And this is a beautiful invitation. You really just kind of go with what your comfort level is.
right. You really do. I mean, and at the end of the day, oh, hello. I like the gold foil. That's beautiful.
Foil is very hot, obviously. Digital printing is also very in right now. There's so many different variables and so many methods to all of the processes.
Right.
There's so many, there are so many levels of the opportunities and creations that you can make.
So by the way, Abigail, say hi to Abigail. She just stated that, intimate can be so beautiful and still immersed in the love of the couple, which I think is super important. And Kelly McLean said garden fairies and gnomes.
Love that.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that. So one of the things I want to talk about is grab and go, right? Because everything's about, and this kind of goes with the drive-by. I was looking for inspiration online about grab and go. What do you do when you have to not have a buffet? You can't have, the whole idea of how meal service used to be and how meal service will be. I know that we're going to get back to it. This is just about having, some fun in the meantime. So I'm just going to kind of put these up here, and I want you to get your take, because I'm not invested in any of these. These weren't from my events. I wish they were, because some of them are so super cute. Oh my God. You're going to be like, oh, I love that. Hold on. Let's see. I love your dog.
He's a bear. He's a bear. He's a big bear.
So while you're looking for that, I want to kind of bring up the fact that I actually just saw online a really cute way of doing the buffets. And it's actually starting out with the airports. I saw somebody was in the airport in LAX, and they were in the American Airlines. What's it called? The Circle Club or something?
Yeah, Circle Club.
Yes. So they actually have a buffet, and every station has their own station. Everything is grab and go.
See, that's
Individually packaged items.
Well, and that's, so let me just show this really quick. So, all right. So of course, grab and go drinks. I think that's kind of important. Oh, look, that got Brooke's attention.
Very cute.
It just reminded me of how thirsty I just have become.
Oh, you're so thirsty. So I love this, and look, it has the name of it. It has the name of their wedding on it. I just thought this was so cute, and it came with a little boutonniere. And then these were worry dolls. Oh my God, how appropriate right now to do out little worry dolls. I thought this was so cute, and so and again, give a little nod to what's happening right now, but also make it kind of fun and interesting and totally part of you.
Picture this: crystals, voodoo dolls, and a Ouija board.
And then
The reality is, some people are dealing with situations that they've had to deal with people in their families and friends that they've been around that unfortunately may not be here. But our goal is to try to make the event of their life, the event of their life, enjoyable, fun, exciting, warm, and just, embrace the situation. But we want to give some levity to the situation.
Exactly. So Tyler, I wanted you to see this because this was kind of a grab and go centerpiece. And I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. You don't do a centerpiece on the table. You grab your little name badge and you put them on the table, and that creates a centerpiece.
That's fun. Yeah.
I can see some danger there too, because we know how people are about their place cards. I mean,
right.
It's like, but I thought that was really cute. What do you think?
I like it. Yeah, you could have like just a simple, like some candles or floating candles in the center of the table. Then everyone brings their flowers and places around the place settings. It would work for me.
I love that. And then of course, Brooke, I thought of you with this, the grab your own wine.
Oh, so I'm the token drunk on the show. That's perfect. Because I got a little buzz last week.
A little?
Whatever. It was the best episode ever.
Well, look, it comes with a scarf. I don't think it's a scarf, but anyway. And then these were like little takeouts. So these were like, take your meal to your table. I was a little about this because I felt like a little bit of a lunch kind of vibe.
I like the ribbon, huh?
Right?
Whatever.
Yeah, a little Gilligan's Isle kind of, Mary in the background.
Reminds me of somebody's evening gown at Miss Continental in 1996, and I won't say who.
So then I looked at this, and of course, I immediately thought of Nichole.
Love that.
Right?
Now all the candies are pre-wrapped, right?
Yeah, all the candies would be pre-wrapped, but I love the idea of this whole vintage table. I mean, look at it. It's out in the field. You could totally get the vibe of this space. You could totally see how you could do social distancing because it's outdoors. Lots of. I keep saying space. I can't think of another word for space, but I thought of you, Nichole, when I saw this picture because I just thought, oh my God.
And my OCD ought to have been like slamming them doors, like door shot, like what the.
And then this is more of the grab and go because I like the fact that they did a clip with the fork, so you could, right? I thought that was really cute.
That's so cute with the little close clip.
Yeah, with the close clip on it because I love the idea, and those are bamboo forks, by the way. So they're not plastic, they're bamboo forks. I mean, I just thought, okay, so smart. People are so smart.
That's super cute, and like the smallest trash can will do.
Right, and then of course our donut wall. We always have to have a donut wall, but I loved. Look at how big this thing is. Oh my God, you could easily do one way in, one way out. And again, I'm sending y'all caffeine for next week.
Very cute. Very, very cute.
Keith understood the assignment.
I know. I'm like, oh my God, let me just carry you through the show.
I had some concerns on that one, but
Oh, the donut wall?
Yeah, if they were wrapped, maybe.
No, tell us. No. This is why we have this show, is to talk about this kind of crap. So what would you do differently on this wall?
If you have going in and out, you're still going to have people walking by and breathing. So I would say that those need to be individually wrapped, and it kind of kills the effect of the wall.
Well, no, you could put it actually in that they have that paper that's somewhat clear.
Right.
The cello paper.
Yeah, the cello paper.
Clip them closed.
Clip them closed, and you could even do it with that same one that we saw before with the something to eat it with, because not everybody's good with eating donuts like this. I love this. I just love this. I mean, because now they're saying salt and pepper shakers are gone bye-bye.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to take them off the table. So the old idea of picnic salt and pepper packages are coming back. And how cute is this? I mean, I just love all of this, and it just says recycled all over it.
Very cute. Little straw, paper straw.
Yeah. What, Tyler?
Well, I was just kind of thinking this might be a good time for the old time, like cruise ship service, where they wheel around the different entrees to each table and serve it. Would be kind of really neat.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
Oh
so
my God.
Yeah. So each course, each entree would be wheeled to each table, and that server would serve each person right there in place.
So the whole idea of the 1950s, 1960s with the little bell cart, bing, bing, coming by, may not be so bad. I mean, what they always say, what was old is new again.
Or have four food stations that has someone's placed at each station, and each table's given each time to get up, but each person takes a different station at a time, so they're not all lined up. So you'll have one at each station, then they'll switch to this station. When they're all six done, they go back to the table,
right?
And then the next table gets up,
like a Garradon or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
What's a Garradon?
What where you wheel it around the different.
That's
tables.
Yeah. My 6th grade vocabulary. Of course, that wasn't in there. I'm like, what's Garradon? I don't know. Or like the Cherries Jubilee that they used to do. Like that's in all those 1970 movies where the people would come around with the Cherries Jubilee and
yes.
I mean, that was probably 150 proof rum, so it officially would kill, the virus.
Then it's flambe.
It's flambe. Oh, what about those shots? So you could even do those shots. You know how they catch them on fire?
Oh,
I mean,
God.
wouldn't that? I mean,
fire! Oh God!
Yes.
I'm telling you what, I was messed up. I tried one of those ones.
Fireball?
One time.
I don't know what it's called, but they're like shots.
They light it on fire, and then you have to huff it and slam it.
Yeah.
What's that called?
They used to put 150.
Backdraft.
151 on top of the shots, and then they would
and you light
one on fire. Yes.
What was it called? Was it a backdraft?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yes, but they had a different one. They had one that was the Dr. Pepper. That was it was amaretto and something, and then they lit it, and it tasted just like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
I haven't done that since the 80s.
I'm totally looking this up. Hold on, because
I still want to do that 151. Oh, I was messed up though, honey. I remember going home with the bartender and slept on the love seat. I couldn't move.
I think that's why they got rid of them. It's because people lit.
I think
people lit their faces on fire.
Yes. Okay. Here we are.
So
Look at these.
then.
Look at all these fabulous shots. All these on fire. I mean, does that? I mean, to me, that says safe. To me, it says no coronavirus is part of this shot.
Very sanitary. Keep going up. Now I really want to know about this shot. I think it's called the backdraft, but now I have to know.
Well, one of these is called. One of these is it called it a Dr. Pepper, but this is a flamingo sambuca shot. Ooh, that sounds good. And then like a lot of sambuca shots, brain on fire shot. Ooh, let's see what that is.
Listen, I'm still a very, very huge fan. And Kelly Anderson, if you're still watching, or McLean, you'll know about a mind eraser, honey. Those are good.
But I mean, come on. I mean, that to me is a way to add some fun into it, and yet I would feel safe grabbing that shot. It's been on fire.
Yeah, and you don't have people congregating at a bar.
Come on, fire, girl.
Exactly. Nobody wants to catch anybody else on fire. Oh, so
have a fire safety person there. You're good.
Oh, that's right. Like your fire girls. So somebody actually just said, hold on. I was just looking at the signature cocktail kit. I love that idea. Thank you, Abby.
Who said that?
Yes.
Abigail Burton said Abby. So she was.
Love it.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't that be
I've
cute?
actually done mixers. You can do mixers inside of cups. Have them sealed. You can put their names on them and such. That way it's nice and personalized.
So I'm looking that up really quick. Carry the show. Like I'm like, kit. That's right, kit, cocktail kit. I wanted to pull it up really quick and see if we could see something cute on here.
Let me see.
No, I have it. I picked it up. Let's see. Okay, let's see what we got here.
I'm just wanting to go I'm like, are we done yet? Because I want to go get some 151. Nichole, you coming over, girl?
But look at this. How cute are these? I love this. Like, this is a cute little kit here. Moscow Mule gift set. So where it used to be a gift set.
Oh, that's adorable.
Right. You might want to do it as a personalized thing. It doesn't have to be this expensive. I mean, oh my God, $59. Kill me now. But I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it is about reimagining.
Like a lot of the bars are doing in the mason jars, right? They're doing the cocktails in the mason jars to go. So it's kind of the same idea. You can do. There you go.
Here it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at that. How cute is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that way you just have them lined up on the bar and then people take them as needed.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we might run
And you
into
could light those rooms on fire too, I believe, if you're really worried about it. Just set out a bottle of 151, like in a dipper tray, and just, you know,
God, can you imagine?
flip it, dip it, light it
Can
on
you imagine
fire.
liability issues that we're talking about? Oh my God, so many liability issues.
Yeah,
so
because you're like, Brooke, you're holding the fire extinguisher, and I'm like, I have a bucket of sand. Pick your battles, queen.
Well, a bucket of sand is a fire extinguisher, by the way. Officially.
I know. I watched Downton Abbey.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh my God. So, I mean, you know, all of these things that we're coming up with, you know, one of the things as we've been going through every week, it seems to be like new revelations about where we're going with the virus and how things are reopening. I mean, I've seen my life slowly starting to change back into like what it used to be, but not quite, with just some slight adjustments every week. So, you know, before where I wouldn't go meet a client, you know, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, but now it's like, okay, we're going to meet, but we're going to stay 6 feet apart. I'm going to have my mask and we're going to wear gloves. You know, I mean, are you guys seeing kind of the same thing that week after week it's slowly changing? I mean, I know that Marci, you just met with some clients, right?
Just met with somebody this afternoon. Yes.
How was that? How did you feel about
our masks? We stood apart. You know, I mean, it's different. I mean, I am trying to do more meeting people, or if I am meeting with them in person, I do wear my mask. I ask them to wear masks, and I do provide masks at, you know, when people, in case they don't bring them, because some of the counties do not adhere to, or they don't mandate it, where
Right.
the county that we are in, it is mandated that you're supposed to be wearing your mask.
And I mean, and you do invitations, so you have to have the books there and you're having to flip through them. Are you like having your clients flip through the books by themselves and you're kind of overseeing it?
I really try to find out what a client is looking for first. This way, it doesn't become an overwhelming process, because I find when people look through an invitation album, they really don't know what they're looking for. They don't know what their budget is, and they don't know their style. So finding all of those details out before I meet with them, I can go through tons of books that I have,
right,
tone it down and show them the few that I think are going to best fit their style, their budget, their, you know, their whole essence of what they're trying to convey, rather than inundate with them with so many things. And also the companies that I work with, they also have the papers so that they can touch and feel the paper.
Right.
You have to see the finished product. You know, I mean, it's all about being creative, kind of working outside the box a little bit, but you know, everybody wants their wedding to be unique and different. So,
well, now's the time to do it, because we're
Right.
you know, looking at all new parameters. By the way, Abby just said make kits without the liquor. I'm going to expand on that. If you could actually do like 4 different types of liquor kits, so you could have your Sex in the City kit, you could have your tequila kit or your margarita kit, and so then on the table have the bottles of liquor that people then can pour into it, and of course have sanitizing wipes and stuff, so that way you can wipe your hands before that. But you know, instead of having the bar,
I knew you were gonna pull some kind of shit today. This is why those hairs up. I got you, bitch. See, listen, and I'm the one that says, you know what, we should have Tyler all the time. Thank you. I finally have somebody to play with.
Tyler's like, oh, I got my light bulb. Oh God, wait.
I got an idea.
Tyler,
with mocktails, even, you know.
Mocktails.
Well,
so
some people.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking that
the older folks.
What if we did? What if we did like
folks.
a turntable on the table, and we made our centerpiece be the wine and the flowers and the crudités and all that kind of stuff, kind of like
a
we
lazy
have a big
Susan
crudité table, a lazy Susan, that the guests can then, you know, they all have their own little tongs, they all have their little things, and they can spin around, pour their own glass of wine, have their own cheeses and all that kind of stuff. Just an idea.
And by the way, why did they always call it Lazy Susan? Why couldn't it be like Lazy Margaret or Lazy Janet? Why does it have to be Lazy Susan? You know, there's probably somebody in history that says, you know what, I'm going to get back on you.
I think Lazy Brooke should be the new.
Oh, she's not here listening, so you're lucky.
She sure is.
Oh, look at those red eyes.
Oh no. Oh no. You really did it now.
It all goes together. Lazy Brooke Stoner.
Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna have to mute her. What are you doing, Brooke? All we're looking at is a chair.
Well.
Oh, she's looking
I
through her
hope-
closet. She's looking through her closet. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I was like,
Oh,
Oh, we're back.
Oh no.
Oh, we
That
are
was
back.
so last week. That
there
was so
she
last
is, Miss
week.
America. Welcome, Miss Columbia.
All we can
That
see are
was
your
so
eyebrows.
last week.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, she's happy.
Last week.
So wait a minute, Nicole, didn't you say you were going to bring me your?
I forgot my tiara.
You forgot your tiara.
Wait, hold on.
I was about to say. I mean, come on, we're talking about reimagining. Can't you, like, you know? Oh shit! You know what? I forgot my tiara too. Damn it! Oh, I look at your background.
Oh,
Okay.
bitch, I told you I was giving you tricks and shit today. Oh, I look so thin. Oh, so this is going to be the new ticket right here. Fuck it. Oh. Well, listen, y'all, this thing's like 7 pounds.
Oh my god!
And I put all the spikes in my ponytail to keep it locked. So I have like, this is what's trying to hold it. And I'm just saying.
I'm gonna stop bringing you bottles of wine before the show.
No, it makes me, I get sun.
We could use those for centerpieces.
My mother
Oh,
said,
now
"Get
that
off
is a
of it."
centerpiece, but you don't want that on a Lazy Susan. You'd rather have that on a Lazy Brooke.
You want to
Lazy
talk about a
Brooke.
lazy Susan right now, honey? Shit.
Uh-oh, we got pirate. We got pirate. Arr.
Yeah. See, this is why you hired me.
Because of your beautiful forehead?
Hey, Marci, you got about how much time does Marci got? You got about 5 minutes, gal. You pull out, get in your caboodle and pull out your shit, girl. That's
I'm
your
packing.
shit. Get
I
in your
don't have
caboodle, mama.
Oh my God. So to get us back on track, by the way, Abigail, we're going to have Abigail on the show because she keeps coming up with the coolest ideas. She was just like miniature bottles of liquor. Put that on the, instead of having the big bottles, do the little miniature bottles of liquor. And I actually just saw that when I was picking up wine for her today. It was like they sell the big packets of those miniature bottles now.
Oh, that makes your head look so small, Tyler.
Well, remember that we did the medical kit with the mini bottles of liquor in them?
Oh, that's right. We totally did. Wait, it was a first aid kit. We did
Yeah.
a little first aid kit and it had little bottles of liquor in it, and everybody got a first aid kit.
Yep.
And so when you open it, you didn't have any Band-Aids or anything. No, it was just a bottle. It was just a bottle of cinnamon. Fireball, a bottle of Fireball. It was so cute. People loved it. Oh my God. Well, they actually really did love it. All right, so we're towards the end of the show, so we're going to start wrapping up. So, Marci,
Yes.
final thoughts. Any final thoughts on what we discussed today? And I'd like to say the subject, but we totally lost the subject through this.
Okay. So, I mean, just have fun with everything. I mean, I've been seeing, I kind of want to go back to your drive-bys. I've been seeing a lot of drive-bys lately in regards to parties. There's been drive-bys for birthdays, graduations. You can do one for an anniversary. There's also been some drive-bys with parties where they're stopping and they're only having small groups, and then they move on to the next group of people and the next group of people.
Yep.
And there was a third item, and I'm trying to remember what that was. Do you recall?
No. I was like, no, I'm sorry. I'm like totally like trying to find pictures of drive-bys, because one of the things I wanted to that you reminded me of is that when you're talking about doing a wedding at a drive-in outdoor wedding venue, is that you could also bring in food trucks. It doesn't have to be that old idea of like those nasty corn dogs and stuff. You could have like amazing food trucks lined up around the perimeter of your
Ooh,
right.
You're giving me very American Horror Story, the carnival. That could be fun. And Nichole, there's pirates there. The pirate ship ride, that was my favorite gig. I didn't like
And
that.
there's also-
I don't like to be put in cages like that.
There's
Right.
also drive-by balloons too. I've been seeing those.
Oh
So
yeah, and the
there's-
drive-by signs. And so by the way,
So a
and
lot of
Nichole,
things.
well, and actually Nichole was talking about that at offline. She was talking about like setting up these cool vignettes in the front of people's houses, so that way you could have those cool like picture moments that people
You
be
could do
driving
the
by.
wedding there.
Oh, you know what? I actually have a picture of a drive-by wedding.
Everybody can stand out in the, if you live on a cul-de-sac or something, everybody can see, they can be at a social distance. You could have the party in the center. I overlook a passive park. So, you know, that's like a perfect area to have an outdoor wedding.
I had
So-
forgot something.
Go ahead.
So I had this idea last night when I was thinking about the show, but of course I've been brain dead today.
Apparently not. You tried to steal my show, bitch.
Go ahead.
Oi.
Sorry. Go ahead, Tyler.
Okay, everyone loves a parade, right?
Yes.
So why couldn't you create small, like a wedding parade where everyone used their pickup trucks and their cars
We
and
have that.
And I'm going to tell you why right now.
No, I have a
Back
picture of
on
that.
Facebook where I was in the parade with Daisy Dud Pedals when I was working for New York Grilled Cheese Company. And I was in full beat with wigs and things and gigs. And when I tell you how hot it is underneath all of that, that's
Yeah,
why.
but you're in drag, honey. You're
But
not.
listen,
yeah, you're in drag and you're in Florida. Not everyone's going to be here. But
the
just
wedding,
imagine having your
everybody's in
DJ,
drag at a wedding, honey.
Yeah,
just
but
imagine having a DJ in the back of
Marci,
a truck.
take them off the list.
okay, so wait, hold on, Tyler. I've got your picture. One of the, an idea of the picture. I think that you're
I'm not
talking
showing to
about.
get crew cuts and stuff.
Right?
Exactly. Something like that. Yes, everyone has their own vehicles, their own food, their own thing, whatever. But you have your music in one back of a truck. You have the wedding couple out in the center. But you could actually parade around and go through the town and have just married on the car, and everyone have their cars decorated. And we're not talking. This wouldn't work in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. But let's
No, it
say,
could though. If you go to that one park,
okay.
you know the one, Keith.
No,
But let's say
I'm
these
like,
small
what are you
town,
talking
small
about?
No, you
small
can do
town
it. It can be
America,
done.
or even Davie, Florida. You know, people, where everyone knows each other.
Oh, no,
Instead
no.
of having,
Lion
This is the
Safari.
Golden Girls, honey. It's behind the veil.
No, I'm just saying Lion Safari. Like if you could rent out part of Lion Safari that doesn't have.
That would be actually
obviously.
kind of cute. Not
Yeah.
not for nothing.
Right.
I'm just not saying don't wear what I wore that day.
Well.
And Daisy show up.
it's
on
not
time.
always about you, Brooke.
And that's why I love it. I didn't know if she was going to show up or not. Here's the thing.
Are you smoking inside your house? You are
Yeah,
not
my
smoking
husband- I'm
inside
actually
your
not.
house.
Wait, you're going to fire me over text message. She's going to destroy my neck for smoking in the house.
Okay. Anyway, so Tyler, final thoughts?
I'm beat
Nick
up now.
Fired already has them.
I'm muting you.
Final
I'm
thoughts.
muting
I
you.
just,
Tuesday it.
Anyway, go ahead, Tyler.
my final thoughts is I'm loving the creativity that everyone's starting to bring up. When we're challenged with adversity, sometimes the better things come out. I love the drive-in theater thing. I thought that was brilliant. Not everyone's going to have a drive-in theater to their knowledge. So if you don't, come up with the next idea. How can you create that kind of look? There's screens you can rent. You can create your own, borrow a field and create your own drive-in theater situation, or on a beach, or depends on your municipality. I am doing my first wedding during this whole time on Sunday in Oklahoma. So next week I might have a few either success stories, horror stories, but I'll definitely tell you what I see. So it's going to be about 125 people, and this is the wedding that I told you guys a few weeks ago that we are spreading it out on an equestrian kind of park. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes.
And here we are in Florida. We've got beaches, so it doesn't have to be a field. It could be a
Right.
beach. And
Exactly.
they rent those big screens and projectors. They're fairly easy to set up. And so instead of, let's say, a drive-in movie theater, maybe you would just have chase lounges all stretched out on a beach and done in a different way. And then you have the big screen with, being projected. So your marriage being projected so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of different ways to do it. Of course, it is reimagining. If you really are wanting to have that, the the idea of your wedding that you've been thinking of since you were a child, you know, and maybe it's the time to think about relocating it, changing it. We're going to be talking about that actually next week on our episode 10, crisis management. So ladies and gentlemen on my board, remember, next week, crisis management. We're going to talk all about crisis management, and it's all about moving your date, what you have to think about, what are all the options. And then Nichole, final thoughts?
Final thoughts is don't stop celebrating. We'll just find a new way to do it. We've got a road in front of us, but it's exciting in the same way too, because it brings up new opportunities. As Tyler was saying, you know, out of this dark time, there will be lightness, and just have fun with it and don't stop celebrating.
And I'm almost scared to ask, Brooke.
Oh. Listen, first of all, I have a whole lot left. It's not even that deep. Okay, and that's just the second one's still in the freezer. Oh shit! Get that wine out of the freezer. No, honestly, like I've mentioned before, like this is like my thing. This is like I don't wear makeup anymore. I don't do anything anymore. Tuesdays is like my thing. I wake up early. I set my alarm clock. If not, Keith calls me at 10 to make sure I'm ready. Because this is important to me.
I call her at 10 for a 2 o'clock.
Super. Well, listen, I'm a lot. Every one of you know this by now. The rest of the world does too. I'm a lot, but I have a great heart. Keith took a big, huge risk on me. I've worked for every single one of you except for Marci. I have great penmanship, by the way, so we'll talk about that later. But you know what I'm saying? These are. I love you guys. This is what we do. I had to be good today, so I couldn't say much. You guys remember last week. But I fixed my life, and I love you all. And that's all I have before I get a really bad phone call from my boss.
Oh my God, you're not going to get a bad phone call.
I know.
Anyway, so my thoughts are next week we're going to be talking about crisis management. So today, then I think the last couple of shows we talked about how to change your idea of the perfect day, giving you a lot of different possibilities here about coming up with new ways to do your wedding that are both intimate and fun and memorable, and you know, changing the idea that it doesn't have to be 300 people. It can be 30 people, it can be 40 people, and that's going to have the same effect long term. When you talk about 10 years down the road, looking back, you're going to be like, why did we have those 100 people when really we only wanted the 30 or 40? If that still is not something that you would want, next week we're going to talk about crisis management.
I am the crisis that you have to manage, darling.
Good
luck, bitch.
Which is why we're going to have lots to talk about next week. So next week is all about crisis management and talking about.
And I will do my homework.
Do your homework, and we're going to, you know, about moving dates, how to talk to hotels, the things to keep in mind when you're talking to small vendors and them moving dates. So that is our episode 10. I can't believe it's already going to be 10 episodes. We're almost teenagers. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you to my panel. Thank you, Marci, with An Affair to Remember by Marci, our invitation specialist. Thank you, Tyler Black with Cachet Events, our florist specialist and decor specialist. Thank you, Nichole, with
Best
CLE
thing
Events.
ever.
Yeah, best thing ever. And then thank you, Brooke Logan Stoner, for some levity and this crown. Oh my God.
Thank you for this background. I mean, oh my God. I love you.
I totally forgot I said that back.
I gotta pee.
And I'm Keith Willard, and with Keith Willard Events, we will see you next week here, Tuesdays at 2. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.